I love that the intro music is
That was
nice
dancing.
and calm, because I think we all three are ready to just go start drinking.
Yes.
What a day, but man, ClickUp stayed on time. I'm like,
Yeah.
respect to you guys. You said you were done at 2, you were done at 2.
I think that was my favorite part of that conference, because I've done a lot of virtual conferences and I get annoyed if they take too many breaks or if they host them in different, like where you have to leave one to go to the next one. At least this one, I could just...
Could we have had like 5 or 10 minutes digestion breaks in between?
Yeah, that would have been a little bit better.
Oh my God, I'm taking the iPad in the bathroom because I got to actually pee somewhere before I go on camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome. They stayed on time. Just as always with stuff like that, we had some trolls in the comment section. I'm like, seriously, if you just want to go bitch on Reddit or Quora. That's where it's already happening. So just go there and go away. But not why we are here. I actually have those 2. I put the link out to a couple other vetted consultants too. We'll see who jumps in. So I have no idea how we're going to do this live today and who is all going to join us.
This is your real boss panel.
Yep.
Just going to put it out there.
Hashtag boss panel.
Hashtag boss panel.
Real life experience and implementation. Let's see if we're gonna survive today with our. Everybody knows I'm completely opinionated. Other people hide it better than me.
I'm totally not, as you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have no opinions.
And
unless they're in blue highlight on a doc.
Hey, it was blue highlight, it wasn't red highlight. And what Anna's talking about, and I'm going to share the link in the comment section. Layla has done a freaking amazing job, and I swear she must have had like 5 hands and 3 feet to type. Because she literally did a run-off show for this event with every single piece of this conference. I swear, girl, I have no idea how the hell you even did that.
So the hard part was reining in the blue comments. You'll see, as like I was telling you before we started, like as it went on, it was more and more just screenshots and ad-libbed comments. But I tried to just give the analysis at a certain point.
Oh, I know. But they're still great. I mean,
I loved it.
I have 0 notes because I was chatting.
Yeah, we were chatting behind the scenes and everything. I just popped in the show notes in the comment section. So if you want to grab Layla's show notes, she put a shit ton of work into those. Go grab those. One thing that I was missing overall before we dive into all of the nitty and gritty was getting an update of how nerdy we're gonna get. I'm like, don't get me wrong, we had an amazing behind the scenes, but I love ClickUp. We love the behind the scenes. We want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I do agree a little bit with the audience where regular users were like, okay, you were doing a sales pitch. I know it wasn't a sales pitch. That's not because I know how ClickUp is. I love those guys. I've been in the office. I work with a lot of them closely. I know that was not the goal. It was really the education piece, but maybe we could have gotten a little bit more heads up so regular users are not as mad. Am I wrong? Am I right?
No, I think that was kind of how I was feeling too. There was, I don't know. Maybe we should ask a question. Evie, what was your favorite part of the conference?
Me not stumbling over my own tongue, speaking to an audience of 12,000 plus people.
How about that? Yeah, how about that last second little YouTube pitch?
We internally had a little joke go on. We got a lot of information on the boss panel beforehand. We knew 3 questions and we knew we had a minute and a half. And everybody that knows me knows when I know my time frame, I will stick to that minute and a half. My audience knows the status versus stages is a fucking button of mine. I'm like, you're gonna fuck up your whole workspace if you don't follow that. How am I gonna explain that in a minute and a half?
You can't. Just like you asked me the same question. I blew up your phone for a half hour this morning and you're like, I only get in a minute and a half. And I was like, oh, well.
ClickUp doesn't even load that fast.
ClickUp doesn't even load that fast. So that's not fair.
I think that's kind of goes back to the whole my qualm with the conference, right? Like what was the purpose of it?
That's a good point.
To tell us that
It
the
just
mobile
felt like it was
app
all
is
over the
finally
place.
coming that we've been waiting for since July.
Yeah, but we all knew that because they put that in the initial publication. When they first put up the LevelUp page, they gave away all of that in the description. And then they took it down and said there's a surprise coming. So it's like, did they not think we read the page originally or what? So I just felt a little confused. Like, I would have loved to hear more from, behind the scenes, like how is ClickUp actually using ClickUp? Like, what are Evie's best practices? You can't do that in 90 seconds.
Layla, there's a blog post on that. And I knew he was going to say that too. I'm like, that question's going over to the blog post because I've seen the blog post. My favorite part of the conference was Vincent's presentation.
Yeah.
And
wait, that was our French accent.
Yes,
guy, right?
that was our French guy that was reading a ClickUp bedtime story with his. Yeah, that was, I think, now my only issue also, which I know they were working it out, was the idea of like the fact that the screen was blurry. And I know that was like a whole issue. So I was really just trying to listen to what he was doing, but that was the one part of the presentation I was slightly upset that I really couldn't see the actual details. But that's why we're going to do maybe we'll do a watch party with the replay or something.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing. I'm like, that was not a ClickUp issue. So whoever was complaining in the comment section about it, that they don't have technical knowledge. I'm sorry, because that's not a ClickUp issue. That's a Zoom streaming issue. Yeah. And when I heard it's 12,000 people signed up.
That's
a lot. I was
lot.
like, oh my God, the stream is going to break. And it did not. We lost quality, but the recordings, no matter how the live streaming quality was, the recordings are going to be clear. So we have those an advantage.
Yeah, and they'll be out soon. I wouldn't be too worried about that. And I think we got in the screenshots, if you looked closely, and I tried to call them out, like you can see some of the really important features.
Right.
Yeah. There's a few little hints there. But I think my favorite session, just to jump in, was definitely and I have to remember the name, solving the challenges of productivity. The one with David and Tommy.
Yeah.
I thought that was what I was expecting the whole conference to be. And yet it was just kind of like snuck in there and completely off topic related to everything else. I don't know. Is that just, I love that session.
That was a good one too. I think I had a hard time following it though. I don't know why, but I had a hard time following it. I feel like as vetted consultants, we need our own conference. Because we're at that level where like I got the most information out of like the more advanced things. But unfortunately, I did not agree with some of like the push on the bigger features because I don't like to have to fix people's entire setups because their widget is broken. And it's not the widget. It's the fact that you're just not pulling in the information because it's not configured correctly. So that's kind of, I mean, if they're going to pay me, I'll fix it. But please do not keep emailing me from the ClickUp directory telling me that you're not going to pay for my support because ClickUp, you're entitled to free ClickUp support after I've emailed you with their contact information.
Oh yeah. I'm like, I'm
just going to put it out there right now. I'm getting slightly annoyed because it's coming in all the time. And if I reply to you nicely and tell you I'm a third-party consultant and give you a video on what you can do, and then you get mad at me because I'm like, I'm not giving you any more information because it's just needs to be fixed, go to ClickUp Help. Like go help@clickup.com.
Yeah, I think I had a good chat.
I'm ranting. Sorry.
I had a similar rant with Danny Hatcher and Jonathan Stewart, on the Notion Nerds podcast over the weekend, where we were talking about basically the difference between consultants and coaches, ClickUp's version, but also how it's impacting Notion. And I noticed, and I was typing pretty much word for word, ClickUp consultants weren't mentioned once in the entire conference. And Evie, the boss panel, was mentioned as experts and analysts.
Yes, and they came off. She's the only one that came off as an expert.
Well, I don't know about that, but she was the only vetted consultant, I think.
Yes, I was the only vetted consultant. I know of Lucy because of a friend of mine who is on hers, I think. Again, I had not stumbled over them before either. And there have been conversations going on too between the coaching and the consulting program. Now, I do have some behind the scenes information where I know they're working on the structure, they're working on the clarification with the naming and all of that. I was a little bit hurt that never ever was it actually explained the difference between the ClickUp coaching, which is ClickUp employees. And I love the team over there, but I'm sorry they're living in a bubble. There's a reason out, and my group is ClickUp in real life. That's why we chose the name. That's why Layla has her group. Because they know their shit. There is no question about it, but they do not have the real life experience necessarily in those specific setup, in those specific needs. And nobody really on there made the differentiation and used everybody being there. Everybody freaking watched it to make that explanation of, hey, don't reach out for the vetted ClickUp consultants for a broken widget. Those are third-party supporters. You have ClickUp coaches that if you get an enterprise ticket, if you have the enterprise account,
you get free coaching.
Nobody knows.
But I'm not sure. I think there's a very intentional reason why, and this is just completely my guessing. You have probably more behind the scenes than me, but my sense of this entire event is it was an enterprise sales pitch. That's exactly what the entire event was. And I think the reason that they opened with the coaching plug is because we're going to see that rolling down to a more affordable enterprise plan. And it's going to be one of the main reasons, that plus that phone support they keep talking about now. I think there's a reason why they didn't even use the word ClickUp consultants in here. I just think it's so concerning from a growth perspective.
That's interesting because I've had 3 clients in the last 2 months that have come to me for more consulting and training and implementation because they're getting that piloted coaching that they were given on the enterprise plan. And I had reached out to ClickUp because I didn't want to give them information that somebody like Sophia may have originally told them, like, we're not playing against each other. We're trying to be playing together. And I was confused because I'm like, are they not, like, is it 2 different things? And they were telling me that there is definitely a difference, which is fine. They need more of the hybrid person that's not held in a bubble and can just tell you, like, don't use your ClickUp for a CRM. If you're using it for massive people, don't do that, please.
But they're pushing the whole other way because now if they're releasing this relational feature where they're basically saying they're disconnecting now.
That's different. That's acceptable because it is relational at that point. But for now, you're putting too much work into making ClickUp a CRM instead of just using integrations.
And I'm sorry, it's not. I'm like, a CRM to me is not just a folder where I throw people in. Am I taking care of client tasks in there? Am I paying attention? Again, like if you're watching my YouTube video, I'm using it as a small CRM piece where we can bring people in and where I can track specific things for clients. But a CRM to me means that damn thing reminds me automatically that I need to follow up with that it connects with that email, that there is an invoice out there. That's a CRM, not just a bubble of 3 statuses that should be stages, by the way, where I'm moving cards around.
Stages. Points, finger, mom voice. That's hashtag mom voice. Did you watch my bloopers video when I yell at the camera? That's hashtag mom voice.
Hi, Gabriel. We finally have a guy in here. I have Pierre in the background too, but he's hiding behind the camera because I don't even know what time it is over there for him right now. So he's halfway asleep. As soon as he feels like popping out in the camera, I would bring him in too. So we actually have some guys. So Gabriel, what did you think about the conference?
Yeah,
I really like it. But just to start, hello everyone. I just came back like the whole conference. I watched it all, and at first it's like some kind of subtle marketing in the overall process.
Subtle?
I'm trying to be kind here. In the beginning, right? A lot of people were just telling this in the Q&A. I was reading some kind of them, and people are actually have the perception of this. But when like some guests started to just moving around, and I believe that flow start a little more deeply, and the platform itself become more for not showing off some features, but also to okay, we have this plan, this future plan. ClickUp merges together with all their applications, all that stuff, and that's why okay, for like 2 hours in, we started to really grow. Like, okay, we move into a conference, and I believe just like a presentation. I believe Zeb wanted to just have this in a real stage, right? To just show like the product. He's not able to attend to like due to COVID-19 stuff.
Yeah.
But in like the last 2 hours, start from the guests and then to the end, like the big surprise, I didn't expecting a mobile version this year. I really wasn't expected.
Wow, you
And
lost hope real quick.
yeah, I mean, and when the whole thread about the mobile versions, okay, this is not working. We're starting like probably. Hello.
Oh, there's Sila.
It started in August, I believe, and that's start to okay. They really canceled the whole update project of ClickUp 2.0 in the overall mobile space, and then we started to build like a real new application. So ClickUp 3.0 ish, but we know
3.0.
Yeah.
And wait, but I have a question. Is it 3.0 or is it just ClickUp because it's a whole new design? It's a whole new app. So is it 3.0 or is it just a whole new version?
I believe it's a whole new version. I called it ClickUp 3.0-ish because not real 3.0. But I believe that I tried to I was attending some Figma applications, that stuff to like measure it. I believe you all are being part of those, and I think the applicate we cannot be able to see what's going on because by the way, Zoom was very blurry.
Yeah.
I am not trying to to read anything. I just try to mentalize the concept because I was not able to read those. But when did this really start? I believe they nail some stuff because when you grab a phone, you already have like a mentality how a phone should work. But when you take ClickUp and see, okay, this is not quietly working, very strange. It was very strange to actually feel that way. And when I believe Alex told us, okay, from 10 seconds for 1 second, okay, I really have to test it out because I want to be open-hearted, but a 1,000% increase is not like natural thing to happen overnight. Not overnight, like 6 months in the making, but still a lot of pressure to have to deliver this 1,000% increase in opening. I have to really see how the tasks and all things behave. I know they're going to be like a short version first. They address that no dashboards, no more sophisticated stuff yet, but I really want to see, right? Like next week, I have like be kind here for in the next 9 days. Let's hope. What do you think about it?
Okay, I am doing a little bit behind the scenes. Look, we got more vetted ClickUp consultants.
Evie, I'm a little annoyed putting my head off.
Let me stop cutting your head off and turn off.
There's nothing I can do about it. There we go.
Look at
Thank you. Much better. Oh, thank you for sharing your thoughts, Gabriel. Those were it's right on point with the whole mobile app situation.
So here comes the German. I'm gonna butcher your name, so I'm just gonna call you amazing vetted ClickUp consultant for right now till somebody tells me how I really have to pronounce her name. Can you hear us? Because I know you just grabbed headset, so we don't have a feedback.
I don't think she can hear us.
She's working on the headset, so we'll let her work on the headset. So while she's working on the headset, you guys let me know what we have the poll in our Facebook group chat. App or email? Which one is our favorite feature release? And yes, I'm not gonna let you say both.
Well, I guess we're getting mobile, so I'd like email if I could, but I'm not. See, okay, here's my thing with email, and I don't know how many other vetted consultants feel this way, but I use my Chrome extension a lot when it comes to my email management. Like part of my DMO is to use my email, and I train my clients and other people to use the Chrome extension with their DMO. So if you organize it and then you use your Chrome, that's like they first ask me like, oh, checking your email is not in ClickUp. Why is it in your DMO? Well, because I'm using my Chrome extension, guys. So you use the Chrome extension, you assign it tasks, you give it bookmarks, you attach it to things that are relevant, and then you can move on to those. And that's why I use the Chrome extension. So for me, I like the idea of the email, but for me, it's just saving clicks because I use the Chrome extension. So when I'm in the task and I open the email, it just ClickUp is right there as another tab on my screen. So it's there. And I know people, here's my thing. I feel like with the Chrome extension in my email, I do it for 15 minutes every day, part of my DMO. I close out my email, I move on into ClickUp. My personal issue is with my squirrel brain. And if I'm in ClickUp and if they release this email feature and I'm in ClickUp and it's real time and emails start coming in and doing whatever they need to do for me, because I don't know how it's going to function yet, that's going to throw my productivity off, because then that's just a notification or a distraction to me because now the emails are coming in. Whereas before I'm closing it down, I'm moving it away, I'm focused on ClickUp. So that's just my personal way of it. Yeah, I think it's great, but I don't know. I have a hair. I don't know exactly how it's going to function. So for me, I'm kind of like, do I have the option to turn it off? Hopefully, like a Click app, because if I'm more productive without the email capability, I will just use my Chrome extension.
And I don't think it's going to be like, you guys know I use Subtask alongside ClickUp.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be that email feature where suddenly all of those emails are popping in. I think it's more of an outgoing of, hey, client, your task is due. Here's your email. Go get that shit done. I think that's more of an integration, because I agree. I'm like, this whole ding, 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 full on 100% email integration, or heels to the no. I'm like, we already have to turn off notifications.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you have like 20 or 30 workspaces, how do you manage those? You say, so this is very, very hard to address. So like say the whole notification stuff that brings in, and when you have like a personal email attached to those, it's going to be really messy. But I think looked like for the pages, like the UI that they showed us, probably going to be like just a Windows 10 stuff that you can just click, open up like your home email, and you can address them inside ClickUp instead like a built-in email application. So when they show up those little hints about the UI, that's why I thought, okay, they're going to bring like the I don't know if you guys use Windows 10 or Mac, I don't know, but in Windows 10 you have that feature. You can just click. I like it. You can just, for example, me, I use my application when I have like an email inside ClickUp. You can click and already open up your email for everything just set up. So probably going to be something like this inside ClickUp already, but we really have to wait and see how this plays out.
Yeah, I have this hunch, and I've been like thinking for a long time that home and inbox, which I could not believe that Zeb uses. You saw my notes. I just think that's one of the worst pair of features that they've ever released, and the fact that he uses it is like, what?
I use home and inbox all the time.
Now this is the interesting thing. I saw that in your notes, and I actually wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, because I do use home and inbox.
If it's not connected to NDMO, if somebody is not getting
that's the tricky part.
Notifications, how to handle it, right? It's a fucking mess. There is no question about it. And we should have an onboarding feature that literally shows people how to clean up their notification, because it's a fucking pain in the ass, and how to handle the inbox, because the inbox simply isn't being used because people don't know how to clean.
They don't even know you can customize it and collapse things that you don't want to see. I can't tell you how many calls I've been on with clients, and they pay me for these calls, and I show them that the home widgets move and that you can collapse them. And they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, they're like, I can't find my assigned comments. And I'm like, they're right here.
Well, I think to Gabriel's point, that we're probably going to see a widget. That's what I was trying to get at. I picture home inbox being replaced with a dashboard that you not just favorite, but you can home a dashboard. And then I would almost picture inbox ending up as a widget. I don't know if that's kind of what you're talking about with the Windows 10 app. That's kind of what I was picturing in my head. That's going to be a tile almost that your actual inbox might be able to pull in. But I also have to say, I have to pop off. Not that this isn't awesome. I'll be in the comments, you guys. I got to go jump to my live stream.
And
but
with that, because Layla has her own live, we are all working with each other. There is no, we are swapping in between channels. You go. I'm just explaining to the audience that is going to leave now to go watch your live. We are all working with each other. All of us are vetted consultant. We all have our focus, which is when I'm going to completely out myself that I have no idea in my head right now how to pronounce your name, but I want to bring you in.
Yeah. It's Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Siobhan. Yes, I know it smells so funny.
It's the
My
German
Starbucks name is Kim.
Say again.
My Starbucks name is Kim.
Evan.
Her Starbucks name, because no one can spell Siobhan.
Same here, Siobhan.
I get it. I get it, because no one can spell Ann, believe it or not. They do A-N.
So, Siobhan, what was your first initial thoughts about the conference? Because everybody of us already was able to jump into that. Yeah. And what was your favorite announcement?
I think my favorite announcement, which I've been kind of waiting so long for, is the relational database feature. I have so many clients that can really utilize that. So, but they didn't say a date. So I wish that we knew kind of more specifically when it would be released. But that's definitely what I'm looking forward to most. I think the conference overall was really, really good. I was really hoping that they would show more like real life use cases. I feel like a lot of the times what they share is very scripted. So I would have liked to see kind of how they use it in real life, because I think that would be more helpful.
And there is, again, love all the guys. I know why they're not giving us a specific date, because looking at how many trolls we had in the comment section, you give a time frame and everybody is going to bitch at you because the first day of that time frame came up. So get it. Coming out of the development space, I get it. I always give them a little leeway on that. I agree on really getting some real life experience from them, really seeing what the hell you were doing. And Anna and I had talked behind the scenes. I loved Holly. I felt for her. I saw how nervous she was, and she fucking nailed it.
Yeah, I thought she did a great job.
It's like Layla's comment about her being like the nanny for your kids on her notes was exactly what Megan was saying in our little Facebook group. And I died because I was like, yeah, she's great. I love her energy. And she like nailed it.
She like for the first time running a conference that they whipped out of their ass. Let's hope YouTube is not banning me for using my bad language today. They pulled this conference out of nowhere within, I need to think, December, 2 months, a month and a half, 2 months with 12,000 signees. And they're pulling it off like that. Again, we had this in the beginning where it's like the tech behind this, you really gonna bitch and troll the comment section because it's pixelated? Anybody that knows about that much technology knows ClickUp can't do anything for it. The recording is going to be clean. Just fucking have fun with it.
Right. Maybe speak that in the comments. People are just trolling. Like, okay, guys, it's not our fault. It's the Zoom fault. I fully understand that, because like they have the time frame they set up. This is like very short, and they have a huge a world-class guests in a short amount of time. And in a completely digital way, they not have a stage. I cannot just prop this first. Yeah, basically it's just Holly there, and everybody else is in the home. So,
the live switching behind this, I'm like, the live streamer here is going nuts, because you don't even just have a live stream in a recording facility. You have those people all over the goddamn place.
Yeah.
But again,
I thought they did a really great job.
I do. I think overall, for being their first conference and for putting it together as quickly as they did, and running into the least amount of tech issues, and it being Evie and I were saying like maybe a little bit longer of a break in between, but I actually liked the fact that it was quick because it got to the point. We talked about some stuff. You got a break, you move on. I kind of liked the faster pace, but maybe a little bit longer of a break in the middle.
Enough to actually have a pee break.
Yeah.
Just enough to actually have a pee break and not having to take the iPad in the bathroom with me. But let's get back a little bit to actual topic that was happening there. We have Jeremy in the comment section. I'm completely covering you guys up right now. Let's see if I can switch that a little bit. No, that doesn't help either. Jeremy is asking, they were talking about the relational CRM. Did they actually show anything about using one list for contacts and another list for deals?
No, that was task. It was on a task level, and they're going to use like a Click app that you can turn it on to relate the tasks to each other. So my inclination is that at first they're going to start on a task level, and then maybe they'll move it up to a list level. I don't know for sure. I'm just making assumptions because everything is so heavily task-based in ClickUp. It's going to be, the way I see the relations going is it has to be on a task level first. But I don't know, maybe
that's what they usually do, is they start on the lowest level and then slowly work their way up, which makes sense because you are starting it in a small environment and then opening it up.
I think it's hard to answer that question 100% fully, Jeremy, because he was explaining it very well, but to actually see the screen was slightly difficult. So I think after we watch the replay and look at it one more time, maybe we'll know for sure. I don't want to say yes or no, but I don't think it was on a list level. I think it was just task relations with subtask.
It's like they gave you the option to maybe like rename subtasks to relationship.
Yes,
so
relationship.
Yeah, you would turn on a Click app for that particular space for that changes them to a relational.
So I think on that note, that probably makes sense that you have like, you know how a lot of people still, even though we tell them not to do it, they turn a space into just a CRM. Mm-hmm. So now you just have your CRM space with your relational database. So it doesn't, maybe it relates to the other spaces because that would be helpful, but I'm not 100% sure on how that's actually.
They also mentioned kind of disassociating items like from the task focus. Right. And being able to designate if something's a task or something else. So maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe a task, you'll be able to say whether or not it's actually a task or a subtask, or you can say whether it's a contact or a deal or an account. And then the relating will kind of roll up like subtasks do, but you can separate them. That's kind of the vision that I have based on what they showed.
Truncated subtasks.
Yes, I was just going to ask, how do you guys feel about nested subtasks? I have a lot of clients that really need that second level.
Mm-hmm. I was initially, I'm like, we don't need second level subtasks. You are just messing everything up. But man, over the last year, I had more and more situations.
Do you know why, Evie? It's because we've been working with a lot more Amazon sellers, and it's it's for their product development. I need to do a task for one of my clients right now, and I'm looking at it, and we need to track things on that level of an actual subtask.
Can you imagine the due date remapping simplicity when I can take the research as one task? So for Amazon resellers, there's a lot of data points happening, a lot of tasks happening. Yep. And right now what we need to do for the research, I'm like, dude, you have like 40 tasks in there. I want them down to 10. Yeah. Now in this case, I can truncate that, have that at one task, have those 10 as the subtask, and the actual, what we do a lot, checklist now as a second level subtask. I'm like,
and think about too the layering of task templates. You know, oftentimes I'm limited because I need it to be a list. Yeah. But if we can have multiple layers of subtasks, then we can layer those templates, which is so helpful.
Yeah, and I agree.
What do we think about how deep is that subtask level gonna go? I saw 2 levels down.
He said 7.
Holy shit. Do you know? Okay, we definitely gonna keep our jobs because people are gonna use that and it's gonna be a fucking mess.
Well, what's going to happen is they're going to create it. Hopefully, hopefully the new template library. See, now my concern is when they launch this new template manager, how are you supposed to manage 7 levels of subtasks from that template manager? Like that to me is going to seem a little that's going to seem crazy. And then that goes back to Evie's feature request that we want is actually updating the templates in real time when you make changes. Because now that's going to tie in together too.
Like for example.
Go ahead, Gabriel.
Sorry. Let's take example like process tree, for example. When you update a task, just everything back, and not starting, just have to move each thing around. You can just update everything.
So I've seen the mock-up of this template library and talk about development now that they announced that I finally can actually share some information. A year ago when I moved here, when I was in the office, I saw the mock-up, what it's going to look like, and goddamn, I had a nerdgasm. It is great how the template library is going to, again, I don't know what changes happen. I don't think it's going to change that immensely that I'm going to change my opinion from, yes, this is amazing, to you screwed this up. The layout, the look of everything, and where they are taking it in the full-on end goal, completely love it. And I know they're working on the interactive engagement. But again, right now, we are changing the user interface. We are adding an additional level to this with the template library in itself. And that needs to be brushed out, ironed out, steamed out, and really running before they can add that interactive piece to it where everything updates. Now, one thing that I would like to see is the choice of updating that active workflow. Yeah. I need to be able to say, yes, I want to update wherever I used it, or no, I don't.
Yeah, I agree.
Because some things I like updated processes, but something are not. Just like I created this for this one, I can update like 5 of them and 12 of them are not, right? We need this have this granularity to know, okay, this one should have this and this one have not. And just updating the whole conversation, 2 things. First, how are they going to tackle the automations based on and subtasks? Because imagine 7 levels.
Layers.
Yes, 7 layers of that can make some loop inside automations.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm completely honest. 7 layers of subtask. People gonna use what you give them, and I'm sorry, 7 layers. No,
that's a lot.
I think that's what he said.
We'll have to replay it. We'll have to replay it and hope for maybe one. Or honestly, I think 7 layers would be great for like our heavy power users.
7, then you don't have your processes cleaned up. I'm sorry. At 7 layers,
7 layers is a lot. I think maybe to start off, maybe like 1 or 2.
Yep, and increasing that they mentioned before, they're gonna make nested folders. So you can
that's right.
Up and went down. So this can like add 2 more layers to help us to just make more streamlined. But I'm thinking about the automation process beside it, both ways on folder level, and because space level going to be implied, in space level automation is going to be implied by 2 levels inside folders, and the inside each list, the subtask is going to also be attached for those loops. So that's why.
I want to pull this one up.
Yay, Megan. Oh, yes, Megan. Yes, 7 layers is only good for cake. I agree. High 5 to that.
Where I am so stressed with this is people and users are like little children. They will take as long as you give.
Yeah, they're going to go in there and they're going to play. That's what they're going to do.
Don't get me wrong. I have changed my opinion on actually wanting to have more levels in those subtasks. I completely agree. I even to a point where I say, you know what, maybe 3 or 4. That's about where I'm like, okay, people can handle this. People might be able to handle it.
Sure.
That way. There is a reason. Now some people are gonna love me. There's a reason why people love Mac. It's in a box and it makes you things do in a certain way, and you're gonna deal with it and you are happy because it's easy. We open up the box and we go to Windows and people suddenly gonna bitch.
Yeah.
And that's what I am afraid of happening with that many sublayers.
And by the way, there's also a new eye perspective to it, because look, I can run like an ultra wide monitor. There's no problem at all. But some people are using like tiny computers and tiny 14-inch screens. And how every time you get a new level, a new layer, you can just goes in like slightly right. So one level up, one level. Sometimes if like depending on which type of scope you're using, it's going to be hard to just read it all. Instead, you have like, let's say for example, when you have a long text name in a task, it stay like too big on the screen. Imagine 7 levels of this stuff, great, increasing the size. You cannot even to see what's going on.
Yeah, and I just want to confirm, unless Layla's fingers were just typing and not listening, her notes from the show that Evie did link below if anybody wants to grab them. She did say that the nested subtasks or child tasks, as she puts in quotes, are going to be added up to 7 layers.
Yeah, and for everybody watching, I popped it into the comment section again. I swear, I said it at the beginning of the show. That woman must have had like 5 hands and 10 feet typing, and her notes are hilarious. Love it. Having said that, yes, we had a couple conversations going on, HubSpot and Pipedream, and doing things.
Pipe Drive.
That one. I'm bubbly. It's a first look video. I'm supposed to drink bubbly and have fun.
First look. This isn't a first look. This is a
first look.
This is the last look.
Oh, that one. That too.
Oh, I have a question. How are your guys' feelings on the new events feature?
Fuck that. God damn it. I love you guys in development. I love that goddamn feature, but how the hell could you release that with such big bugs? I still don't have all of my calendars showing.
Oh, I had a back and forth with some of the ClickUp support people, because I found out if you go into your Google Calendar and if you add more calendars, you have to disconnect it from the events, and then you have to reconnect it.
Which
select all the calendars. And then I'll tell you, I'm still using Google Calendar because it's color coded, which is why when he was talking about it in the release for the second round, is they need to add colors, because obviously it's my brand color. My ClickUp is all purple. So now my ClickUp calendar with my events, everything is a big purple blob, which is great. I love purple, but I need to see separation with all my time blocking that I was hoping we'd actually be able to do in ClickUp, because it's a big productivity thing that people are complaining about, is because we can't really time block in ClickUp. So hopefully once the colors come out, that you can actually customize from the Google Calendar into the events.
So
I would be happy.
I would have appreciated the dev team to actually hold off on it. It was announced to us vetted consultants, what, two weeks before or something like that. And we know how that goes. Yeah. They are staging it, they are testing it, something breaks, it doesn't work right, they are pulling it back. That's just what development is. Again, I am a broken record with that. I do not want to be any of those developers. They're probably bald or gray at this point with all of the stuff they're pushing out.
We'll buy you guys some wigs.
Because I'm like, I know why I left development, because I do like my red hair and I do like the length it is, because I would rip my hair out with this.
Oh, I know.
I would have appreciated them pulling that release rather than having this right now. I'm not even worried about necessarily about multiple color coding or anything. It's the first iteration. We are testing this. This is fine. But I can't even get my calendars to work.
Yeah, I'm not seeing everything on mine either. Evie and I went back and forth, and I thought what I was looking at was a Windows issue. It turned out that I had to resync everything and then restart my computer because I was seeing weird things.
I wish that they would have a team calendar integration, because that was something I was confused about. I thought that it would be kind of more in ClickUp, but it's not. It's seeing my personal calendars overlaid. And I want to be able to bring in a team's calendar so that everybody can see all of the appointments. And
to that point, I think what would be nice is being able to see a team calendar from the teams inside ClickUp. Like
Mhm.
like Evie and I have like a ClickUp in Real Life team for all of our ClickUp in Real Life stuff, tasks. If we had a team calendar for that, I would like that because I know a lot of my bigger clients use Teams too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, like in a more corporate section, the teams are very powerful. So they
Yeah,
have
they
a
are.
more reliable, mainly reliable sort of calendar to address those because they are actually people and companies. They need those features. They're not gonna be like, okay, we're not trust that much to make the change, for example. So
Mhm.
this can be a mail say point. Okay, you can do that in Teams. You can do that ClickUp. They work seamless between each other. So this is mainly like for enterprise company, enterprise plans. This is a major sell point that must be addressed before they actually step that further inside the
Yeah.
product.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, let's keep it aware that it's full of bugs right now and doesn't work as planned. I agree.
I opened up a
I
can of
would
worms with
love.
that one, didn't I?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't get mad really often, but that one was like really. This is not just a little bit of not working right. This is one big slash of a bug on my windshield. In the future, what I agree, I would love to see, and I can see when I do my Google Calendar embed, so the information is available, it's all there, having the different colors, being able to see my appointments next to actual tasks, next to birthdays, next to my blocking time for my morning routine and all of that. All of those have different colors in my calendar. And I know that feed is available because I can embed that shit straight up.
Yeah.
So I hope they're going to do a big haul over of that whole events. Like, just call it a two-way sync, please. Just make it a two-way
Yeah.
sync. It's available out there. Just make it a two-way sync. And let's do a version 2.0 of it. And let's clean this up.
Yeah. And by the way, this new rebranding of names of features like can be a little misleading in some points because let's say, for example, I don't know if what they're trying to achieve with this relation of tasks, for example, must be something like a lookup in Airtable, for example. They're trying to tackle this lookup point in Airtable. They're not like available yet, but these related of tasks or the instead of calling in two-way syncs, calling one name, because people already are related to those, and the two-way sync not like a branded name. This you can be used like for every company. So this actually there's no right point
Which,
to make this change.
yeah, which we had naming convention issues from the beginning on. Every single of my clients has an issue with the whole workspace and spaces.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everyone.
Every single one of them. I'm like, just replace workspace with
With the
account.
count. Yep.
We
Yeah,
don't
and by
have
the way,
to rename everything. We don't have to come up with fancy names for everything.
yeah, in like in the Hoots way, old way in ClickUp, workspace should be called workplaces, right? They change you know that probably they
Yeah.
changed that and then
Just like they changed projects to folders because folders were called projects back in the version 1 days. And I don't know how when I first started using ClickUp when it was version 1, I liked the idea of my project manager in me liked the idea of calling a folder a project. But then I think to appeal to other people that are not familiar with the project management industry, they went back and called it a folder. And now I'm going backwards and explaining to people that your folder is a project, but you can't see all your projects at a high level. You have to use a portfolio to do that. So it's, I don't know. It's a lot of explaining. I get it. And yeah, they just, the naming conventions are, I guess, not ClickUp's strong suit.
Yeah, but for example, the project name, the project name, I believe Zana has the folder as called as project. So I
Yeah.
believe we try to just not
Yeah.
make like a bypass to it and calling folders because
Yeah.
folders is like is more relatable mainly for like for example for Windows users. Okay,
Mhm.
you have a folder, just click it, right? So it's easy for everybody. I don't know how does this play out in Mac. If you can talk about that, but I think it's more easy to like in visual reading to play that way. But yes, these names can be like a little misleading some points. But I
Yeah.
believe the overall perspective, mainly because many of those like views not have a brand name yet, because let's say, for example, Trello is a whole point based on board view, but they're trying, okay, this is a Kanban view. It's not a Kanban. Kanban is a process. It's not like a board.
Right.
So this make no sense to call a Kanban board like other let's say competitors call it Kanban board. Kanban is not okay. I'm gonna have a
Right.
Scrum
Kanban is
board.
the process, not the actual thing that you're looking at. Right. I
Yeah,
get it.
precisely. So
Yeah.
this ClickUp took it like more, I believe, more seriously, calling a board. Okay, this is a
It's a
board
board
view.
view.
Yeah, precisely. So the whole naming point, I believe they nail some points really well, actually, really like truthfully, but some points are a little more offset. But in the overall
Yeah.
perspective, I think the workplace to workspace and then having like a lower layer code space can be a little hard for people to
Right.
actually understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have 45 minutes in now. I think people got enough of our opinion. To
Don't
close this
forget.
out, if anybody is in the audience, if you want to have any questions answered right now, you want to know anything, you're wondering about anything, jump in the comment section, post your comments right now. And just sent me a link, which is what?
The feedback form.
Yes, ClickUp's feedback form.
If you actually watched the conference, they want to hear your feedback on how it went. So make sure you're filling out that feedback form for them.
And as you know, luckily we can do things like that. My audience knows I have called out ClickUp often enough. They do not shoot back at us. Comments in the conference was turned off because there were just enough assholes in there. I'm sorry, I would have turned it off too. We work with ClickUp. We get to voice our opinion. There is nobody cutting us off of that. With that, last but not least, while we see if there's a couple more comments coming in, what are you most excited about? I don't care if it's past favorite implementation, feature, whatever it is. I want to end this whole thing with a little bit of ClickUp love of what we are most excited about.
Mobile app. I really like the idea. So the mom in me, okay, all my work goes on at my computer because that's how I work best with client-facing stuff. But the mom in me really wants to increase my productivity at home, and I've got a house full, and I like to be able to do that stuff on the go. And then if I happen to need to get into check on a notification or something from a client, which I try not to do, it's easily accessible. I like to brain dump on my phone on the weekends. Like when I'm drinking coffee, I pull up my brain dumping dashboard, or I pull up a notepad, or it's convenient so if I rustle through my house and it's too early, everyone will wake up and kill my productivity. So I like to just grab my phone very quietly, and I like to tap things in. So I'm excited for the mobile app.
Before the next one jumps in, we also got in the audience, that's Megan, right?
Yes.
Folder status is a mobile app, so she is right in there with you.
Oh, folder statuses. Oh.
And they said custom fields on the folders too.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
folders are not just going to be folders; they're actually going to be usable.
Yeah, I'd like some usable folders. That would be cool.
I think custom fields on lists would be great too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really have to make how the whole why, because this can change ClickUp very deeply.
Yeah.
In the overall perspective, they have to go this slowly. If you go too fast, it can just overwhelm people and say, okay, this is why let's say why my folder is pink, for example, write something like that and just break the whole concept that they're building here right now. And I believe that I believe Zeb addresses very well. They say if you stick stick with us until now, the full of bugs and everything, everyone is like seeing a brighter future for ClickUp.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's the whole point of this conference, because this year was a rough year beginning to end. We know that.
Yeah.
And ClickUp had a lot of bugs, some very powerful ones. We are, as consultants, have like this very one that can be breaking of the client operation. They manage those, they tackle those, and they heavily focus on reliability and speed. So in this regard, despite loving the mobile app, I believe that the vision for 2021 is the better thing that you can take from this conference, because ClickUp is actually knowing what's going on inside and outside.
Yeah.
Because some companies can just go, okay, this is just some trolls in the comments, but these some really are, but some of them are actually people trying to help to build a company.
Yeah,
So
and that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
why I think the vision for 2021, the whole environment, like educational and podcasts and all that stuff, they're gonna bring ClickUp not for only like in a mobile or in a desktop application for more live stuff. It's the what can drive further ClickUp in 2021. So I
Yeah.
believe this conference really showed us this, because they already have this in mind. So for me, the more I'm excited about is not only for the features, all the stuff, but the vision and what ClickUp want to be in 2021.
In the
And
stability.
that's one of
Yeah.
the reasons why many of us stick around even when we hit one of those big speed bumps. It doesn't matter how much we might bitch here and there when our dashboards suddenly don't work at all. We know they are listening. That was the major point why I had left Asana back in the day, because I'm in customer support and they pretty much gave me the middle finger.
Yeah.
It's nobody listens, nobody cares. We are running our business how we think it's right. Yes, there needs to be a certain level of, it needs to fit into the mission and vision of the company. Don't get me wrong, because if that wouldn't be, we would be all over the place. But that in combination with, yes, the customer is king, and yes, the customer actually does know what the fuck they want. That is the thing where I'm like, I'm sticking around because you are giving me the support. You are listening to what I and my clients say, and you are implementing when you can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, precisely. And I believe in this regard they actually listen, because I can give you examples. I believe some time ago, I found a great bug, the game breaking bug, and on a Sunday, I believe, 4 p.m. Okay, Monday everybody go back to the office, so they managed to get rid of that bug like in 8 hours. I was for them the whole process. Like it was a huge bug, but they tackled it before Monday. So I believe, and when they have this type of they know, okay, this is real, this is like a big one. They tackle this. It's not like, okay, this Sunday, tomorrow I'm gonna look at it. They have this passion because the product, because they want to really be the world class in the productivity app.
And
So
that is one thing that I actually felt when I went into the office. It does not matter which team member you talk to.
Yeah.
Snap and the CEO level have built a company emotion in there where everybody at every level is invested into the tool they're building.
Which is good.
Yeah. You can feel that. I mean, even from, all of the team that you encounter in the support chat, or when you submit a bug, I mean, you can feel that in every step of the company, which is really great. And I agree. I mean, I think that the biggest takeaway from the conference today was really just the vision for 2021. And I think I'm most excited about them kind of improving on the features that are there, and kind of cleaning some of them up and making the UI a bit simpler, I think is a really great focus for 2021.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that, everybody that wants to keep nerding out, I think Layla might actually still be live because she started, we'll see. I don't know how long her life is going. You can go over there, nerd out over there. Again, there's vetted consultants out there. The page is, I think, on the bottom. It's linked in the bottom menu, I'm pretty sure, on ClickUp. If not, jump in the comment section. I'll find the link for you guys if you need any help. There is
the consultant page?
The vetted consultants,
ClickUp.com/consultants.
Thank you. There we go. I never.
And Evie, great job today.
Yeah, she did great.
Yeah.
Really great job. It was great to watch.
She did good. She came off like an expert.
I mean,
an expert that's just focused with ClickUp. I mean, I'm sure the other girls are experts in their own realm, but the stuff she talked about, I could relate to. The other stuff, I'm not so
You
keen on
are
telling people to use dashboards.
You're my right hand. It's like we talk every day. You are jaded, but still, thank you.
I was jaded before we met. We just
Yes.
connected our jadedness together.
Thanks everybody for jumping on. Thanks everybody for watching. And again,
Thanks
even
for
if
having
you're
me.
watching the replay, jump in the comment section. If you want to connect with anybody specific that was live here today, I'm more than happy to make the introduction. I know how to get a hold of them. And I'll see everybody soon.
Bye, Siobhan. Bye, Gabriel.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.